Squidward. Oh, good. I wasn't sure. Help if I turned on my camera. Yeah. Oh, hello.
Howdy. I see we got the memo today.
We got the black shirts.
Yeah, Black History Month.
Yeah.
That's what this means, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Obviously.
It like Black Shirtstory Month. Nailed it. We're getting like more similar in appearance, I'm noticing, as the beards grow out and our wardrobe meshes together.
Exactly. Which one is which?
Yeah,
you don't even know.
Well, that was the joke for a while. I said you could move into my old place and you just be like, yeah, my wife left me. She took the kids. I gained like 50 pounds and also grew 3 inches.
Yeah, exactly.
As a near 30.
I am Daniel.
Yeah. What do you mean?
What's up? Well, welcome everybody to Pop Culture Partisans, your weekly dose of PCP.
Yeah.
On the We the People Podcast Network.com.
Like us on the book of
Faces.
Yeah.
The book of faces.
Well, I don't know.
And the tube of you.
Is Facebook still a thing?
Yeah.
Well, people like Facebook, but not probably the demographic that wouldn't listen to this show.
Right.
So that's fine with me. So I guess, yeah, like Facebook would be where people.
Yeah, exactly. Facebook, No, I haven't heard anybody ever complain about Facebook. Not even once.
Well, I don't hear people complain about Facebook because I don't go on Facebook.
Or other social medias.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Basically.
That's the way to do it. That's the way to live.
Yeah. I agree.
But
I was thinking on the way here, before we started the show, about 6-7 months ago now.
Yes.
We were talking about names. And you asked me what did I think was a good name for this show?
Oh, yes, I did.
And my idea, because I thought it was all encompassing, was just podcast.
You did say that, and I still disagree.
I think my name's more fitting than what you came up with.
I will say the breadth and scope of the show has changed.
That's true.
And its intention, I suppose. But podcast is still literally a billion shows called podcast.
Well,
you are not the first person to
no,
think of this.
And I don't think so either. But I figured it was either that or we're going to talk about stuff that we want to talk about, and then occasionally talk about things that are happening.
Yeah,
was too long of a name.
Yeah.
So podcast, I thought was just encompassing versus like pop culture. It's like, yeah, sometimes we touch on that.
Pop culture and or politics. Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. Last week we talked about politics a lot. I'm still exhausted by that.
I know. Well, you can only do that once in once in a blue moon.
Yeah, podcast.
Yeah, thank you, Tom.
Yeah. So just so in case anybody's listening and that has no idea what this show's about, we basically talk about what we want to talk about.
Yep.
In the realm of movies, video games, occasionally politics, occasionally pop culture.
Occasionally occasionally politics in video games and movies, and
that's
sort
true.
of all blend.
I saw that it's South Korea has a curfew on video gaming there for kids too, not just China.
Is it the same way as China?
It's a little bit different. It's under, I want to say off the top of my head, it's under 18, whereas China is under 16.
I think so. Yeah.
And they're limited between 10 and 8 a.m., 10 p.m. and 8 a.m. People under the age of 16 in China can't play video games. Whereas in South Korea, it's midnight to 6 a.m.
Oh, I thought China was like between this time and this time, you can play video games and it's like an hour.
Oh, no. So you get like, I think it's an hour a day, but you have a window.
Oh, I was under the impression that the hour a day was like this hour. This is the video game hour.
No, and then they call it a video game curfew, or a gaming curfew.
And so does South Korea limit the time within that curfew?
That I don't know. All I know is that the curfew was for 18 hours a day, you could play. I'm sure there's some sort of limit on it, but that's during the weekdays too. And then, or rather the weekends, and then the weekdays are even more restrictive than that. I just thought it was fun. It seems to be spreading. We talked about this months ago.
Sure.
But
yeah, well, this has been your South Korean censorship update.
That's
close enough.
Do you know anything about the Olympics that happened, or rather were canceled during World War II?
Oh,
and then there were prisoners of war. Do you know anything about that?
Yes, I
I've heard like little murmurs, and I've tried to look it up, but God, you can't look that up through Google.
No, you got to Bing that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go dog go.
Yeah. Ask Jeeves.
Yeah, duck go. There you go.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, ask Jeeves. It's just ask.
I know. I still ask Jeeves.
Yeah. Well, he was a white guy.
Yeah, you can't have that.
Jeeves. Think there's any parent out there naming their kids Jeeves?
Maybe like a butler, and it's like a family name.
I hope not.
My father was Jeeves, my grandfather was Jeeves, and my son shall be Jeeves.
Jeeves the 12th.
We are the Jeeveses.
Does anybody, before we get into the POW thing, prisoners of war?
Yeah.
Because I'm hoping you can tell me about that.
Oh, no, I remember reading something about it.
Tell me what you know about it, and then, but does anybody do people go after like 5? Like, so if you have Jeeves the first, and you're not a king or like a royalty.
Okay, because I was gonna say I believe
Sure.
King. There's Henry VIII.
Yeah.
Louis
CK.
Louis CK the 15th.
A long line.
Yeah.
Of
and that was
other things.
And every one of them liked to masturbate.
Publicly. Well, not publicly. Privately with an audience.
Right.
Yeah. From what I understand. Which, I mean, whatever. Do your thing.
Right. From what I can tell, he did ask permission.
Yeah. We are so derailed.
100%.
Anyways,
so I don't know. I honestly don't know anything about this.
I've known in my personal life up to a 4th.
Oh, really? You've met a 4th?
I've met a 4th. They didn't go by that though. They weren't like, I think his name was Jack something the 4th. He just went by Jack, and then his last name.
I just got your text right now.
Oh yeah. Hey, I'm running late.
Yeah.
I'll be there soon though.
Yeah.
Which probably did make sense when I walked in and was like, wow, I'm surprised I made it here on time. You're like, oh yeah, good for you.
Well, no, I mean, you're usually like, you're pretty close to 6.
I got kids and stuff.
Yeah. I've never, been like, the fuck? We got shown at you, Daniel.
The people are counting on us.
All of them, all two people. Mostly Tom.
Oh my God, I hope Tom's not counting on us. Sorry, Tom.
Yeah.
Let you down.
He was telling me that he now knows more about Halo.
Good.
Than anybody in this age bracket.
Oh well, yeah.
Yeah.
Good. That's that's all I'm trying to do. I'm trying to give back.
Exactly.
Yeah. Or pay it forward, whatever. Keanu Reeves.
Sure.
Yeah. Hardball. Whatever.
The Matrix. Wait, what are we doing?
I don't know. Keanu Reeves.
Okay.
So do you know anything? Because I was never taught this about the Olympic Games that were supposed to happen at the onset of World War II.
Yeah. Wasn't it like even like 38 or 39? Like when because I thought the reason they were like canceled was because like Hitler invaded Poland, and I was like, oh.
The only ones that I know of that were canceled were the 44 Olympics, the Summer Olympics.
Oh, and
but
1944?
I assume the 1942 Winter Olympics, right, were canceled.
I would think so.
We're going on this discovery together right now because I was never taught any of this.
No, why did this come to your attention now?
Well, because the Olympics are in China.
Yeah. That's
about the end of it.
Okay, and that we were like, what were were they doing in World War II?
No, you know what actually sparked it? Somebody
Okay.
made an offhand comment along the lines of, well, this is what happens, and you send your athletes over there, and then they start World War III, and then they're prisoners of war. I was like, I wonder if that ever happened.
Yeah.
But the guy made it sound like it happened, which I'm all for. Like, I lean very right.
What?
Yeah, right.
Canceled?
This was
You alt motherfucker.
this was even like a little extreme for my like, oh,
Yeah. Everyone draws their own line.
yeah.
Looking at the comments, we got Let's Go Brandon.
I love it though. I love
Yeah.
it. But yeah, this guy, old curmudgeonly dude. Well, that's what happens, you know. I send him over those communist shitholes.
Was this our grandpa? Who was saying this?
Yeah, it could have been. No, he
Yeah.
would have been a little less crass about it.
That's true. I don't think I've ever heard him say shitholes.
But yeah, that's true. It's usually something else.
Yeah.
But I was curious if something like that had ever happened.
I mean, I don't know. I don't know if I've ever heard about prisoners of war per se.
But I don't know. I was curious, and who knows? Maybe that'll be what happens.
Oh, sure. Just World War III.
Have you watched any of the current Olympics?
Only on the other night when I was at Grandpa's.
Oh, yeah?
It was on.
Yeah.
And so we watched skiing. The skiing where the one where they jump and it's like a skiing long jump. I don't know if is that the name of it. You know the one I'm talking about where they do like this when they jump.
Listen, I'm going to be totally honest with you.
Yeah.
A lot of people pretend like they care about this stuff when the Olympics roll around.
Uh-huh.
I do not.
No, me neither.
I am exactly who I am, and I am unapologetic for it. So I do not care.
What's the one with the big puck and they brush in front of it?
Curling.
Okay.
Yeah.
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 That's the best one.
I only know that because it was a meme a few years ago.
What, curling?
Yeah.
Like just because it's such a ridiculous thing?
Yeah, it's just like, imagine devoting your life to that.
Yeah. Yeah, right. Because that's one of those things I was going to say, like, okay, you're the best blank, at this
Right.
this very specific, weird thing.
Mm-hmm.
Like the who won the gold medal in the ski long jump?
Absolutely, I don't know. I don't know.
Slovenia.
Okay, they're not doing much else.
And my dad was there. It's like, oh, that's the place with the vampires.
I'll counter that dad story with one of my own. Speaking of being the best at something,
yeah,
my dad, when I was 16, told me that I'll never be the best at anything in the world. I mean, he's not wrong.
No, you know what? Your dad is an honest man.
He didn't say it with a like mean malice or inflection. Yeah. It was just, hey, listen, realistically, you'll never be the best at anything in the world. He didn't say realistically. He just told me I'll never be the best at anything in the world. And you know what? My 16-year-old self accepted that.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Right. And then once you accept that, then you become okay. Like, oh, it's okay to just be me.
Well, and that's what he said. That was what he followed it up with was, that's all right.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think I said something about it. This was like 2009-ish.
Mm-hmm.
Something about LeBron. And I was like, I could be in the NBA. I'm 6'0". I could barely grab rim at the time.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, I just got to work really hard. And it's like, no.
You know what?
No, you won't be. You know what? I'm glad he had that reality check with me.
Well, and also like, you're an average height guy.
Yeah.
It's 6 foot, so probably above average.
Yeah, I would think so. Yeah.
But we have tiny wingspans.
Oh my gosh!
And, like not very long legs.
I'm all torso.
All torso.
I can run for days because my legs are so short. They only have to move.
Right. We actually have like swimmer builds, like that torso. Who has tiny short legs?
Michael
Phelps.
Oh hell yeah!
Yeah, he's got. That's how he does the little the dolphin thing.
Are we still mad at him?
Were we mad at him?
Well, like collectively as a country.
What happened to Michael Phelps?
Smoked pot or something.
Oh yeah, the performance diminishing drug.
I'm just trying to even the playing field, guys.
Yeah, right.
You guys are really slow.
Yeah. He's like, I can do this high, motherfucker.
No, that was like he was canceled, right? Because he smoked pot. And they found the pictures
I
of it.
vaguely recall that. So I don't know that like most people cancel them. I think
okay.
like a few people were like, you can't smoke weed. Okay.
All right. Whatever.
Why?
Yeah.
Like,
Especially if you,
like
like
it's not like weed laced with hormones or something.
well, you never know.
Yeah. Well, yeah, that's what they do in Pennsylvania.
Oh, do they?
I'm talking about the UPenn swimmer.
Oh.
You ever heard about the UPenn swimmer?
Nope. I've been under a rock. What's going on?
This is like 3-4 weeks ago.
Nope.
The chick who broke all the.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Like
You said. Yeah.
Okay. Like this.
I just don't care.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, we could talk about that if you want.
I mean, what's more to say? Like,
Nothing.
right. Like it's a biological male who like, oh my goodness, I can't believe he broke all the women's records. Whoa.
Well, that was that's funny you say that because tying into that, when I was really into weightlifting, I remember looking at some of the female records
Mhm.
and being like, oh, I can lift almost as much as that. And I mean, like if you see these female weightlifters,
Oh, sure.
And this was like in my heyday. I was lifting, on a very strict regimen, and I still wasn't even there. But I was like, I was close. Close.
The days when we were, like we'd hang out and you're like, come on, we gotta go to the vitamin shop and GNC.
Yep.
Yeah. Those days.
Fuck. Yeah.
I remember.
Yeah, I remember.
I liked going in those because I was like, oh, what is this? What's this? What's this?
The foreign world to me.
Yeah, it was like there's powders everywhere.
Did you know that they cut fentanyl with baby formula powder?
No.
I went to Walmart to buy my infant daughter, formula, and they keep it locked up. Which, for one, I'm like, fuck, I'll just go somewhere else.
Sure.
I have to interact with somebody to get this. I don't want to do that. And not because I'm like shy or anything. I don't want to fucking talk to people. Like, let me just get my shit and go.
Now you'd have to find somebody.
That's what it is. The one time I did do that, it took me 20 minutes to get the formula. So I'm like, well, against my better judgment, I did it again. It was barely English. I did it again.
Yeah, no, I get you.
And I asked the girl, I'm like, okay, I need this. And I went to like reach in. She like got in front of me. I'm like, okay, whatever, fine. You can get what it is. I go, I need 2 of those right there. And she asked me, she goes, are you paying with cash or card? Which struck me as odd because I'm like, okay, whatever. I go, probably paying with card. She goes, okay, I'll bring it up front. I go, I'm not done. Like I'm still shopping. She goes, oh, well, we have to take it up front. It's store policy. I'm like, oh, okay. So just out of curiosity, I go, well, why? Like, I go, it's fine. Like I wasn't arguing with her. I wasn't causing a scene. I don't give a crap. I'll get it from the front.
Yeah.
She goes, well, apparently people have been coming in and buying quantities of it and cutting fentanyl with it. And my mind immediately went to, why would you want to put fentanyl in baby formula? I was like, that seems silly.
Yeah. No.
Like I didn't fathom that it was the other way around.
Sure.
But yeah, so apparently that's what's happening.
Maybe that's what keeps like their clientele alive. Like the nutrients in the baby formula.
Oh yeah.
like when you're so like addicted or whatever that you're not eating. Like, we cut it with a little baby formula. That keeps them, functional.
I don't know if there's, I'm taking her word for it. I don't know if there's a ton of validity to that, but the fact that she told me is one, but you bringing up Vitamin Shop and GNC got me to think, why are you wasting money on baby formula? One, taking it away from babies that actually need it.
Sure.
Like get fucked on that account.
Absolutely.
But 2, you know how much cheaper just basic protein powder is? And it's got to be the same. It's the same consistency.
sure.
You could get a isolate and it dissolve just the same.
Sure.
I don't understand. Whatever.
They don't want their customers getting yoked.
Oh, I guess not. But yeah, we don't want them to get strong enough to come back and steal it.
Yeah, right. Like, dude, I love this fentanyl.
Well, but then it got me thinking about why she asked me for cash or card. Well, cards are trackable.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, now I'm just going to buy all my daughter's baby formula in cash in like $100 bills.
100
Like sequential $100 bills. Yeah.
It's really like,
and I'm going to buy it in mass quantity. So when I get to knock at my door and it's the DEA agent and I've just got this crying infant in my hand and he just sees the baby powder stacked in the bed or the baby formula there. Can I help you?
yes. She's so hungry.
Well, I didn't want to leave my house more than I had to because Biden told me to stay put.
Yeah, they're getting rid of the mask mandate.
Yeah.
I gotta stay home now.
Who's been wearing a mask?
People in Monroe County.
It's just not me.
Yeah.
Well,
You're in Wayne County.
Yeah, it's true.
That's what I'm saying.
Well, they have signs on the door out in Wayne County that are like, well, we trust you to make your own decision. I'm like, good for you.
Yeah. Hey.
What didn't matter what you said. It wasn't going to change my mind, but exactly. Why would you want to put fentanyl in baby formula? Just seems silly.
Right?
They're not going to do nothing for the babies. But yeah. So we have a couple of things that we actually wanted to talk about that we haven't even talked about today. But
are we talking about like what we've been watching? Like that's
I was going to ask, but I have a very specific one.
Okay.
Did you watch The House?
No, I haven't watched The House yet.
On Netflix, the weird stop motion movie.
I'm sorry. You assigned me like 3 different things.
I did.
I watched like 2 of them.
Oh,
like an idiot.
That's 66.6%. That's
barely passing.
Well, that would still be a D because we can't give Fs anymore.
Yes.
I hate this world.
Well, an F is below 65. 66.6. That's
true.
Yeah. That's how I got through high school.
Yeah. You know what? It mattered.
It did matter. Look at me now.
Producer of all of the We the People Podcast Network wonderful shows.
Yeah, We the People Podcast Network.com.
Well, so you didn't watch the one that I actually wanted to talk about.
I'm sorry.
It's okay.
But
you watched the other 2? What were the other 2?
I finished The Mandalorian and I watched what's it called? The Book of Boba Fett.
There it is.
There it is.
Yep. I only watched that 4 times this week. Encanto, for those who can't see.
Are you are you trying to find like other things to put on or?
Yes, but I also just won't put Encanto on. Like I will start something else. She'll be like, "Oh, Encanto." She'll see it, like the little thing.
Oh, sure.
And I will just put it on, like Curious George or something. Like I can't deal with it.
I recommend Gravity Falls.
It's a little much for her.
It's the best show on Disney Plus.
It is good.
Yeah, she can handle it.
She could not. It would be way too scary. There's parts of Encanto that are actually too scary for her.
Oh yeah, that's probably true.
2-year-old, but no, we only watched it 4 times, and by that, I only probably watched the whole movie once.
Sure.
So,
well, all right. So you know what? Let me start with The Mandalorian.
Yeah, you watched season 2 finally, right?
Finally, yes.
Okay.
So I had watched the first couple episodes of season 2 before, and I restarted. Season 2. It's because I was like, I don't remember.
Okay.
Where anything is. And I will say my favorite episodes of the season were those first 2 episodes. There's the one where he gets Boba Fett's armor back from the Marshal.
Cobb Vanth, yeah.
Yep, and he kills the dragon.
Oh yeah, that's probably my favorite one.
And it's a good episode.
The sandworm,
and he teams up with the Tusken Raiders, and they
Yep,
that's great. It's a great episode. And because I think the episodes that I like of the show the most are like the standalone
Yeah.
ish episodes, like when they aren't like tying it into like the bigger, you know,
Sure.
mythology or arc or whatever.
Well, kind of because the arc is boring.
It's fine. It's the Mandalorians is better than
Oh, 100%. Well,
Boba Fett.
It's more consistent.
Yeah. So,
but you watched all of season 2. What was your least favorite?
Least favorite episode of season 2?
Yeah.
Hard to say because I watched them in pretty short order, so it's hard to say which, like, they kind of blended together. But I probably the one with like Boba Fett, like the where Boba Fett was in it the most, where the baby's on the hill, and Boba Fett's there, and I don't know, but I don't. Overall, pretty. It was better than I thought it was going to be. I was afraid that it was going to be because I knew like, Ahsoka shows up and Boba Fett shows up and Luke shows up and all this. I was afraid it was just going to be that, but I think it was interesting enough on its own.
Yeah,
that those weren't like it wasn't just like Although I will say the Luke one was probably the weakest.
100%.
Because that was just like Deus Ex Machina and Luke's here now.
Yeah.
Okay.
It didn't add anything. It didn't take away anything.
No, they were really just trying to do the hallway scene again, the Darth Vader hallway scene, but with Luke.
Well, so the whole idea is to return, Baby Yoda there, Grogu, to his people. And I didn't understand that, like, what are his people?
Jedi.
I guess, but not really.
Because he could move stuff with his mind.
Yeah, okay. I don't know. It just, everything felt like it was just shoehorned in, last second thoughts type of thing.
I don't know. I think it was probably planned. I don't know. I've seen shows where like it was like, because there weren't any really dropped threads. You can tell when a show is like really improvised because they'll like set something up and then never pay it off.
Well, it's just kind of like the Star Wars sequel trilogy there.
Yeah. Specific, like Rise of Skywalker. There's a plot in that movie that does not pay off.
Yeah, the Finn and
Finn. What does Finn want to tell her?
Yeah, he says it like 4 times,
and he never tells her.
No,
it just didn't make the final cut of the movie. It was like they edited it in real time.
They probably did.
So that's
screw it. It's good enough.
The Mandalorian is no. I wouldn't even say The Mandalorian is good. It's a good show.
I agree. I think so too. I still think season 1, just based on its smaller scale, makes it better.
It's more consistent.
Yeah.
Like I was saying, the other one, there are two more episodes that I would say are like really good.
Mm-hmm.
The second episode where he gets stranded on an ice planet with the frog lady.
Yeah,
and then it's like the spiders, and it's like a horror episode.
Shoot.
Yeah,
I forgot about that.
Remember that one? Like it's all standalone, and like when the spiders that come out of the eggs, and it's like, this is like creepy.
Well, I think that's what really hooks people into the show.
Yeah. And then like the second to last episode of the second season there, with Bill Burr.
Oh yeah, with the space pirates. Where they try to save the guy, or am I thinking of the one from season 1?
That's the one from season 1. The one from season 2 is when they infiltrate the stormtrooper like base.
Oh, right. Okay. Yeah. And they're sitting there talking. It looks like a cantina type thing.
Yeah, and it's like the mess hall.
Yeah.
And like Bill Burr is like this ex stormtrooper, and he's having like this like conversation with like this stormtrooper like officer, and he's like really good.
Yeah, because that's the first one where the Mandalorian takes off his helmet, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And that episode I thought was really like surprisingly solid. Bill Burr is like I hope that character comes back.
Yeah. He did an interview on how he got that part, and I can't remember why.
I assumed
he
was just friends with like Jon Favreau.
It could be.
Because Jon Favreau definitely like casts people that he's worked with. The lady who shows up, she showed up in Boba Fett 2, the one on Tatooine.
Yeah.
She's been in like a bunch of Jon Favreau movies.
Well, so you'd still say this first season better than season 2?
Yep.
I agree. But season 2 is good. It's certainly worth watching. It's better than anything else Star Wars has put out for a long time.
Absolutely. And so that ties us into the Book of Boba Fett. Here, I have an actual picture. Less good.
One episode shorter too than
only 7 episodes.
Yeah, finished today actually. Last episode came out today.
The best episodes are The Mandalorian season 3.
It's episode 5, right?
Episode 5, 6, and 7, I would say.
Less so 7, but yeah.
Like 5 and 6 are straight up just Mandalorian episodes.
Yeah, they don't
Boba Fett does not appear in episode 5.
At the very beginning.
Does he?
Or not? Is that the one where he goes in and he kills the people?
No, man, Boba Fett does not appear in episode 5.
I think it's is it at the very end that he is in the episode?
No. I noted, I was like, oh my God, he's not in this episode. Fennec shows up at the end.
Maybe that's right, because that's where he goes back and he's in his ship and she goes, we need help.
Yeah.
Right. I'm thinking of the end of episode 4 where Boba and Fennec are talking. He's like, I've got credits, but I need muscle.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or something like that.
Yeah. No, Boba Fett is not in episode 5 of the Book of Boba Fett.
Maybe Tamara needed a break. He's old. So.
Oh, can you tell? Although the worst action scene is in episode 3. It's the slow bike chase where the mayor's assistant is in his car and Boba Fett's hipster Gen Z biker gang is chasing them, and it looks like they're going at like 3 miles an hour.
Oh yeah,
like there's a scene there's like a rickshaw that comes in the road. They're like, oh, move out of the way, and like pans over and shows like the cars coming, and then it's like,
well, there's a speed limit.
Yeah, so. And it's like, oh my God, they're going 35 into 25. Ah,
boy, send out the boys in blue.
Like, wow, that was bad. And in the credits, Robert Rodriguez directed that episode.
Huh.
Like, the guy who directed Sin City and Machete, which is why Danny Trejo shows up in that episode.
He also directed the episode of The Mandalorian that Boba Fett was first in.
Oh, I didn't know that, but I believe it. That sounds right.
Very similar camera style.
Yeah. I was surprised at how unstylish it was. Because like Sin City and like Machete and Once Upon a Time in Mexico and all these movies are very even Shark Boy and Lava Girl is more stylized than this.
That's true.
Yeah.
What else did he do?
Yeah, Rodriguez. I'm not letting you forget that. Machete.
Yeah.
Machete kills.
Yeah, but it I don't know if his work just doesn't translate to Star Wars, but
I wonder if they just like wasn't like the show has to have a certain level of consistency, so they can't just let him like put a grain filter over it,
here's some yellow hue. I mean, you're in the desert, who cares?
Right. I assume there's a certain amount of like Disney like no, you can't.
Yeah.
You can't decapitate somebody, or whatever.
You should have.
Yeah, when the Rancor, spoiler alerts for the latest episode, when the Rancor shows up, I kept like going, eat him.
Oh yeah,
and then he ate one guy, and I was like, yeah.
Well, I think the only part that I actually laughed out loud during the episode was when the Rancor grabs the Mandalorian and like picks him up, and the lady there, the scrapper lady, goes to Grogu. Don't worry, kid, your old man's got good instincts, and he's crafty. And then the Rancor bites down on his helmet, and she goes, "Oh, maybe not."
I laughed once. It was the Rancor grabs a dude, lifts him up for Boba Fett to shoot him, and like you just lifts him up. Boba Fett shoots him, and then the Rancor whips him, and you hear a Wilhelm scream. You know, "Ah!"
I didn't notice that, but
Yeah.
I've only watched it once. I'll probably watch that last episode
I
again.
just watched it before coming in today.
What I think what I'm so impressed with, and it's because my standards are so low for Star Wars stuff these days, is the fact that they paid off the Rancor. Like, because they introduced him in episode either 1 or 2.
3.
Was it episode 3?
Because
Okay.
Danny Trejo is his
Right.
is his like keeper.
Yeah. But
Yeah. And can I just say, when that happened, I was really hoping the show would just become like this Marley and Me like thing with Boba Fett and the Rancor.
yeah.
That would have been more satisfying to me. Because
Yeah,
I was like,
so.
I like Boba Fett likes animals.
Sure.
You know, because like when he was the first time that anybody ever saw Boba Fett, he was riding a dinosaur.
Mhm.
This was in the Star Wars Holiday Special,
Oh my
1978.
He's an animals guy.
He's an animals guy, and I was like, you know what, I'm okay with that. I like that he had like his bantha, and
Yep.
you know,
Oh yeah.
I wanted more of that.
Yeah.
Because it gave him something.
Yeah. Right. Yeah, a little bit of character arc. You could derive his sympathy for like the Tusken Raiders or something from that.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I don't know. They just kind of ass-pulled a lot of his character development.
Yeah.
He's nice now, and they almost walked it back.
Almost.
They almost did. So, like, Cad
Are
Bane.
you talking about when he kills Cad Bane?
Well, no, yes, but no. When Cad Bane shows up and he's talking to Cobb Vanth, and he's like, "You don't know Boba Fett. He's a cold-blooded killer." And I'm like, good. Like,
Yeah.
maybe there's some play here. There was some intrigue in that, because my criticism of the first couple episodes is this Boba Fett is such a washed up wet noodle.
Which like Cad Bane says to Boba Fett, he's like, "You're gone soft, Boba."
Yeah, and I like how self-aware that is. That actually started to, in retrospect, make a lot of the actions that Boba Fett that he took make sense. But they should have let him go full machete.
Also, can I say, I think
didn't.
they could have. I think they poorly portrayed this. Apparently, Boba Fett was with those Tusken Raiders for like 5 years.
Oh yeah, I didn't get that at all. I got that it was like a month and a half.
Right. But when he goes back to the Sarlacc pit to find his armor, he's like, "That's what I was years ago." And when I thought about it, I was like, "Oh yeah, this show, like the Book of Boba Fett and the Mandalorian, takes place 5 years after Return of the Jedi."
Oh, yeah.
So, I think the implication is Boba Fett was with the Tusken Raiders, like hanging out, learning their ways and all that stuff for like 5 years.
Like just tripping on that weird lizard goo.
Yeah, like the little melons that they
Well, that and the one that went up his nose and
Oh yeah.
tripped balls.
And I think if they had more properly like shown that,
Yeah.
or like communicated that would have gone a long way.
Oh yeah,
to like
I hadn't even thought about that, but yeah, no, I assumed it was all because they were doing like the flashbacks and then the current day, and I thought they just kind of came together, but they didn't.
No.
There's a substantial past, and then there's 5 years later. There's post Return of the Jedi essentially, and then there's the 5 years later Book of Boba.
The flashbacks, like the time from like him with the Tusken Raiders, and then it reaches the point where it overlaps with the Mandalorian because they find the chick who was in an episode of season 1.
Yep.
And so like apparently he was just with them for like 5 years.
Yeah,
which they don't really say. Like they don't explicitly say that.
Did it pay off? See, I didn't watch this that carefully because I was distracted with other things.
Sure.
Did they pay off the one Tusken Raider that apparently escaped or didn't die?
I don't.
The one with like the dreads?
No, what are you talking about?
I thought that one survived. I didn't think.
No, so far as I could tell, they all died. They all died.
Okay.
That was just,
Maybe I didn't see that scene closely enough where Boba Fett discovers it. And
and then
the one thing I really didn't like about the very last episode of the Book of Boba Fett is when the Pike Syndicate is talking to Cad Bane, and Cad's like, "Well, the Tusken Raiders, what are we gonna do about them?" And the Pike Syndicate guy's like, "Oh, we took care of them, and then we blamed it on the speeder bike guys, and now Boba Fett doesn't expect or suspect us for anything. It's taken care of." Like that, the exposition was strong.
Oh, it was real heavy-handed.
Ooh.
And Cad Bane was like, "Thank you. I will use that later."
Yeah. And then he tells Boba Fett, "Yeah, they
like immediately.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't
know the Pike guys, they killed all your friends.
I don't really like that they killed off Cad Bane.
Yeah, it was a little anticlimactic because when he showed up, I was like,
oh yeah, it's fantastic.
Because I had totally forgotten that you had told me that until his silhouette appeared. I was like, I know who that is.
Probably my favorite part of that of this entire series was the exchange between Cobb Vanth and Cad Bane.
Yeah, I like that they introduced the deputy.
Yes.
Like 2 scenes earlier, and I kind of knew. I was like,
"Oh, he's gonna die.
He's gonna die.
He's gonna die."
Like he's a little too hot-headed.
Yeah,
he's gonna die. And I like that he died. I think the last line Cad Bane says before that is like, "Boba Fett's a cold-blooded killer."
Yeah. Well, he never juxtaposed it with "I'm not."
No, but I just thought it was funny. Yeah, this Boba Fett, you don't want to fuck around with him. He's a cold-blooded killer.
Yeah, right. I wish they'd done more. They hint at his backstory, Boba Fett and Cad Bane.
Yeah,
how they were, Cad Bane kind of mentored Boba Fett, but I don't know anybody that is a casual Star Wars fan that knows that.
Oh, sure. If you haven't seen Clone Wars, you have no idea who the fuck Cad Bane is.
No. But you know what? And even just the Book of Boba Fett, I think from episode 6, I think he stood well enough on his own that people would have been interested in the character if he hadn't died.
Yeah, they could. I think they went full Darth Maul with him.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Killed them too quick.
And man, does he just command any scene that he's in?
Oh yeah, anytime he's talking, I'm like, say more things.
I need more memes.
Yeah. Because he was great.
Easily the best character in the show is him. Don't really love what they did with the Mandalorian.
Oh, it's season 3?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know. I thought it was fine.
They no, I mean just in general the character thing. I thought I get why they brought the Baby Yoda, Grogu back.
Well, yeah, they had to. So but really, they should have just saved that for season 3,
right?
Because imagine if you just watched The Mandalorian. Right?
I was expecting because they flashed the Beskar chainmail, right? That he gave to Grogu, and he shows that he's wearing it. So obviously he chose that, and he's there and whatever, and they didn't have the CGI budget to deepfake Luke for another episode, so
yeah. Which can I say the deepfake in Boba Fett is better than it was at the end of season 2.
Way better.
Yeah,
less dead eyes.
Yeah, and something about I feel like his face shape, they couldn't. I don't know if Mark Hamill's the person that they're CGIing his face onto, but I feel like there was some jowl action that they couldn't quite
suck that up there, Mark. Yeah. If you don't watch the Book of Boba Fett and you just watch The Mandalorian, so season 3 has been announced to come out sometime mid-year this year for The Mandalorian.
I thought it was around Christmas.
Oh, I've heard June. I've heard July.
Some point this year, second half of this year.
But what I was going to say is I was half expecting Grogu there to just whip out the lightsaber later on. So he's both or something like that.
I kind of expected him to be both in some way.
Right.
Because they couldn't just keep him at Luke's. Because otherwise the implication is that Kylo Ren would have killed him.
Right.
Right.
And that's kind of what gets me about this whole thing. Well, we have this awful sequel trilogy.
Yeah, because if this was the only sequels we had to,
Yeah.
if we had never seen Luke before,
Yeah.
like
right.
the Mandalorian season 2, that would have blown people's fucking minds.
Oh, yeah.
I would have been like, whoa.
Yeah. But now it's like,
yeah, like, oh no, I've seen Luke. I know where he goes. I know his ends.
right.
And so now this is a midquel.
Well, and what gets me is like he really had an end in Jedi.
Yeah.
In Return of the Jedi, not the other one.
Right. The Last Jedi. Yeah.
Well, that was a deep fake in itself because he was actually not the Last Jedi.
Whoa.
Subverting my expectations.
But
But
so I think if like, oh my God, if that was the only time we had ever seen Luke.
I wasn't even thinking about anything of like the Last Jedi. I was actually thinking about the Rise of Skywalker and how it all just like,
jeez.
And what gets me is like I hate to be fans of I hate to be a fan of what could be, because then you're not a fan of what is.
Sure.
And you know, there's plenty of people out there that are like, well, I wish it was like this, or I wish it was. And yeah, that's fine, and you can like the source material, but if you're a fan of what could be, you're probably not an actual fan of what is, and that's fine. So I hate being that fan, but that's how I feel about this.
Yeah.
I can't really like it because I know that it's crap later on, and it has to make sense. And you're not gonna redo that trilogy.
It's the same issue with season 7 of the Clone Wars, which came out after Rebels.
Right.
And Rebels, you see how Darth Maul dies, and you see what happens to Ahsoka Tano, or you see that she's like still alive after the Clone Wars.
Right.
So by the time this Clone Wars season 7 actually came out, and like, you know, it ties all into Revenge of the Sith and all that, like there's no more stakes for it. Because if Rebels had never come out, then you would have no idea whether Ahsoka and Darth Maul would live through Clone Wars season 7.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Oh, I got it. I thought you were going to say season 7 of Game of Thrones.
No, I'm still keeping this Star Wars.
It's a similar phenomenon though of this.
Sure.
Like, I really wish this was, I like this, but it's not as good as it could be. And therefore I just can't get on board with it.
Yeah.
So the Book of Boba Fett, I don't know that there's talks of another season for this.
There is. I believe it's already been confirmed.
Of course, because sequels for everything.
Sequels for everything. You know, the Ahsoka's getting her own show, and
the Obi-Wan show is coming out.
That's true. The Obi-Wan show is coming out.
I know how he dies too.
But again, exactly. It's kind of like, okay.
And not that everything has to have a finality to it of like, okay, so like, not that the stories can't be interesting in themselves, but it does take away something that I know.
It takes away stakes.
Oh, 100%.
You know, Obi-Wan's not going to die.
Right.
You know, like they've.
Well,
he's
that's
not going to lose a limb.
That's kind of why the Mandalorian, at least the first 2 seasons, were interesting enough because you don't really know. But now if you start tying him to people that have.
Yeah. And like, you know, I was really excited for the Mandalorian to like sort of reset once Grogu, left.
Yeah. Like that was a fine plot device.
Yep. And then like, all right, he's off training with Luke. Let's have some more solo Mandalorian adventures. Maybe he's bitter and like angry now because he lost his little buddy.
Well, they don't talk about the Darksaber anymore. That's just done. They talk about it for that one episode
in Book of Boba Fett, like with the
like, oh, it's heavy now because you're not focused or some bullshit like that.
And he fights Jon Favreau.
Yeah. And drags it across the floor, which I thought that was really great. Like show, don't tell.
Yeah.
When in that opening scene of episode 5 in the Book of Boba Fett, where he's got the Darksaber and he like it drags along the ground. You're like, that's weird.
Yeah.
Like it just that I thought about that scene more than any other scene in that entire episode.
Can I say the first that scene is so good, and it does what everybody wanted Boba Fett to do.
Well,
which is brutally cut somebody in half, decapitate them, and carry out their fucking head.
Did I not say that though? 3-4 weeks ago now, that if you want a Boba Fett show, just watch The Mandalorian.
Yeah.
And
And I would have been fine if Boba Fett. All right, fine. Boba Fett's not this thing anymore. We have The Mandalorian. But you have to give us something else. I'm voting Marley and Me, Boba Fett Rancor family drama. That's what I want.
I want bitter, jaded old Boba Fett who finds out how to clone himself and make another little Boba Fett.
Oh, dude, raising a kid?
Yeah.
Fuck yeah. Boba Fett family drama with their pet, the Rancor.
And then,
perfect.
And then somehow, some way, he gets beheaded by a lightsaber just like his dad.
Oh, and the cycle continues.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And so I was also thinking, like, what if Boba Fett just was the Mandalorian? Like when the Mandalorians first started.
Yeah.
And then there's
I had that thought too.
And then there's just this like element, especially when if he finds out like Grogu's like a Jedi and he's harboring all these feelings about the Jedi because of what happened to Jango Fett. Oh, what would that have been like fucking layers and shit?
That's too much. It's too much for the average Disney watcher.
Like, oh, why would he hate Grogu? He's so fucking cute.
He probably hates him for the same reason that the rebels got those Death Star plans.
Because?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because.
Yeah.
That's about what it is. Probably need a whole other movie to tell you.
Yes. How did they get the Death Star plans?
Hopefully you'll rob some 13-year-olds of their sleep for the next 30 years.
Yeah. How did they get the Death Star plans?
Oh boy. But overall, Mandalorian season 2, way better than the Book of Boba Fett. But I think the Book of Boba Fett had moments, and I will say this, foot down, every episode way better than any of the Star Wars movie sequels.
Oh, even of Boba Fett?
Yeah. 100%. I'll take even the first two that I thought were trash. More coherent than...
I still stand by The Force Awakens as a fun movie.
I don't agree. I think
there was so much potential in The Force Awakens. The cast had so much chemistry. The idea of like Finn's, if they had continued Finn's arc from that movie as like a reformed stormtrooper and actually like continued that path rather than just reset him in the next movie to have the same arc again.
I don't think The Force Awakens understands Star Wars. I
don't think Star Wars is that complicated.
No, I don't mean it like that. I mean it in the way of actually making a Star Wars movie. Like, you don't just have things to have things. You don't just have practical effects because we need practical effects. Like, they shot it on the same like 35 millimeter film.
Sure.
Like, get fucked.
Yeah. Oh, sure.
I'm not
saying that Force Awakens is a terrific movie. I'm saying it's passable, and I think there was a lot of potential.
I disagree wholeheartedly, and it's ruined for me in the first scene with Kylo Ren and Poe.
Oh,
we need comedy.
Yeah.
That ruins the rest of the movie for me. It's that bad of a scene. And nothing it does is original, and that's been harked over.
Sure.
It's just, and I don't like the characters. The characters are, you say they have chemistry, but
I do think that. I stand by. I think Finn was an interesting character.
It's tough
in The Force Awakens.
He's not Harrison Ford.
No, he's not Harrison Ford. That's a bar. No one's Harrison Ford. You know, it's clearing that bar.
You could have genuine charisma.
I think Finn has charisma in that movie.
I don't.
Okay. I think most of the cast does in that movie.
It's that movie, right? That when he's talking to Phasma, Finn, he's like, yeah, I'm the guy. Ugh.
Oh, with Harrison Ford there? Yeah.
And Harrison Ford's like, calm down, kid.
Yeah. See, I thought that exchange was fine.
No. It's like it's cringy to watch. That movie made me cringe more than those embarrassment pains.
Sure.
I don't know.
I know what you mean, but I feel
movie.
like there was more, like so much more of that in like Last Jedi and Rise of Skywalker.
Oh, there's a lot of it all around.
The Last Jedi opens with that "Yo Mama" call. You know the one I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I actually had repressed that.
Yeah. See, mate. So
I guess I hate Poe.
Yeah, which is fine.
Which is funny because then that's the only character in The Last Jedi after the halfway point that I'm rooting for.
Because Laura Dern's so fucking unlikable.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Well, and like that's not how military command works.
Oh, sure. Well, he's a dangerous flyboy.
Oh God. Yeah.
Oh.
Anyways, I want to like Star Wars, but I guess I'm one of those fans that I hate that wishes it was something else.
Yeah. Well, before we leave today, I think that's enough Star Wars talk.
Yeah.
Before we leave today, I want to now get into a different franchise that you're no longer a fan of. Game I've been playing. I talked about it a bit last week.
Hello Kitty?
Pokemon.
Yeah.
Pokemon.
It's the same type of thing.
I see, and you know what? I have now put many more hours into Arceus. Man, that gameplay loop is solid.
Okay.
Solid.
Well, they've always been good at that.
They have been good at that. But it's new and it's different. And the boss fights.
Huh?
I don't know if I talked about the boss fights at all last week.
No, you didn't.
They have like these Dark Souls style boss fights.
Of course.
Where you have like a dodge roll and you have to like
Did you notice that in the last episode of Boba Fett, Rancor circle strafes around?
Yeah.
But anyways,
yeah,
it's the Dark Souls of Star Wars,
and this is the Dark Souls of Pokemon, I guess.
God,
let me just pull up a little picture here. This is one of the boss. And I don't know if you can read that. That is a Lord of the Isles Arcanine.
I thought it was Japanese text.
No, it says Lord of the Isles.
Lord of the Isles.
Arcanine. And that, like the way he's introducing
is he the guy at the grocery store that tells me I can't get bread?
Yeah. Lord of the Isles.
In the Soviet Union and
yeah, exactly.
Grocery stores.
Cannot
pass.
Cannot buy.
You cannot buy this bread. That's cool. It looks pretty cool.
Yeah, like the way this character, like this boss, is like he walks across lava, like it was very slowly. It's like Lord of the Isles Arcanine, and the music starts like, it's like oh my gosh, this is very intense.
Did you die to it? Did you lose?
I did.
Good.
Yes,
I should.
Like only once, but still.
Yeah. You should always lose once to big bosses like
this. And then the next one. Lord of the Hollow, Electrode.
That's a dumb joke. Get it? Like he's stupid because
he's hollow. Yeah,
and he's a ball.
But that sounds even more Dark Soulsy to me. Lord of the Hollow.
Yeah.
Lord of the Hollow.
It's a good one.
Yeah,
he looks a little less crazy than.
He's not as cool looking as Lord of the Isles.
Yeah.
Arcanine
lends to be a little bit more menacing, though. It's tough to make a sphere menacing.
I did think it was a weird choice. I don't have the other pictures, but like the other one is like this new Scyther evolution. So he's got like
the rock one.
Yeah, he's got axes for hands.
That's cool.
That's pretty menacing too. When like that thing like starts chopping down trees coming at you.
Is he just Scyther? Is that all he's called, or is he called?
No, Cleavor.
Oh, okay.
Lord of the Wood.
That's an erection joke.
Yeah. I wake up every morning, Lord of the Wood. Lord of the Hollow, Electrode.
Is that it? Is there only 3 of them?
These are the ones I've come across. There's a couple more, I'm sure. I think there's at least 2 more just based on.
So are these all like different areas of this?
Yeah. So you start off, you're in like the sort of wooded area, and then you.
Is that the hollow?
No, that's the wood.
Oh my God.
And then you go to the islands, and then you go to. I think that the mountain is the hollow.
Good cracker. Good cracker.
And that's about all I have to say about that.
Yeah.
Arceus, it's good. I like it. I know the graphics are crap and like they should be better, but
I bet you
gameplay is king.
Arceus is going to be like Lord of All or something like that. That'll be.
Oh yeah, Lord of the Land.
Yeah, some like super pretentious name.
I will say I have seen some like gameplay footage of that boss fight.
Yeah,
and it looks like insane. Like you're in like a space void and like.
Oh, I'm sure.
And it plays that like a remix of that original Arceus theme. Do you remember that one?
Yeah,
it's fucking awesome.
Yeah, with the big drums.
Yeah. I love that. That's probably my favorite Pokemon like theme. The Arceus battle theme. It's so like over the top and ridiculous.
Nothing to me beats that original TV theme song.
Oh, are you
I want to be
the very
I'm not singing
best.
it, but yeah. Put that on your car radio. To anyone listening, to anyone in the future that's going to listen to this, put that on your car radio and play it through your speakers and turn it all the way up. The whole thing, the full song.
Yeah.
Tell me you're not like, I'm fucking ready.
Dude, I used to have the CD.
It's phenomenal.
It was like all the TV. Like, do you remember? I'm on the road to Viridian City.
Oh, jeez. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. They didn't get better after the theme song.
No, but to be a master, Pokemon master.
As long as it doesn't have the digi-rap on there.
No. There was a Team Rocket one that I can't recall.
Yeah, but it was like meant to be campy.
It was so campy.
The digi-rap was supposed to be serious.
Oh yeah. Oh, they were really like, like they were all about it.
I love Digimon.
I do like Digimon, but I will always be a Pokemon boy at heart.
Pokeboy.
Pokeboy.
I think that's your character name in this.
Pokeboy?
Yeah.
Yeah. I always name my character like a fart. A fart used this. A fart used that. A fart sent out this. Or my favorite is you name your rival a fart.
Yeah, that's right.
And then when you go see Professor Oak later and a fart shows up, he's like, a fart. Good timing.
Yeah, except now it would be like a fart sent you birthday wishes.
Yeah. You defeated a fart. A
fart wants to come with you on your date.
Yeah.
I don't want you there.
You gotta help a fart out.
Yeah. Yeah, everybody just wants to be friends with a fart.
Yeah.
Smell you later.
One day a fart will be the champion of this region.
That's true. I will be.
Yeah.
On that note.
Yeah. I think that's good talk. Star Wars.
Shit. Nobody cares about Star Wars.
No one cares about Star Wars. See you guys at Boba Fett season 2.
Yeah. Hit all the buttons.
Who let you near the buttons?
I need buttons.
You son of a bitch.
I'm gonna get buttons. A fart smelled good.